This is what Nuna does when I film. She just nicely sits there. Hi, baby. Hi. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am here to do another period product review for you. I'm super excited because this has been one of the most requested. You know how when you say something over and over again, it stops sounding right in your head? I've now done this intro like 5 times, so the word requested doesn't sound right to me. So I'm here to do the most requested review that I've gotten in a while now. As the title says, I am reviewing the Ziggy Cup today. Here it is. So I have the Intimina or Intimina, I'm not quite sure which way it's pronounced. I'm pretty sure it's Intimina. I have their website up here because I wanted to read what they have as their description of this cup on their website, which is meet the most comfortable cup ever and the only reusable cup that can be worn during sex. Ziggy's revolutionary flat fit design can't be felt at all, offering you up to 12 hours of comfort, self-confidence, and total freedom. It is $39.95. I'm gonna call this a cup. I already addressed this in the Nix It video. As you guys know, I did that video last, and that's I think why this was so highly requested, because this is the only readily available, at least in the US, reusable disc type cup other than the Nix It, and so you guys wanted me to compare the two. I'm gonna call this a cup because both Intimina wants to call it a cup and then Nix It wants to call their cup a cup. I addressed this a little bit, like I said, in the Nix It video, which is where I'm gonna call something what the company calls it. I think there's less confusion there. I think it's more respectful, especially when a company sends me a product. I'm not going to go against them and call their product something else. This also was not sent to me, I should mention this. I bought this with my own money, which I'll address that soon too. I'm gonna call the Nix It and the Ziggy what they are, which is a non-suctioning menstrual cup. If you want to come up with a fun term for it, like FlexFits did with their discs, we can call it a hybrid cup. I've also called it that. Maybe I should coin that, but I'm gonna call it a cup because for what it's worth, it does exactly the same thing as you know, suctioning menstrual cups do, and it's kind of just like apples and oranges. They're both fruit. I get how some people feel like it should just be called a disc, but disc, that term was made up by FlexFits, in my opinion, to basically make them different and rebrand soft cups, because they then changed soft cups to soft discs. So I think that was just their way of being like, oh hey, we're new, even though we're not, but we're gonna call ourselves discs instead to whatever. I'm gonna call these cups. So let's just get that out of the way because a lot of people were also commenting on the last video, and it's just like, I'm done. So Intimina has some pretty big claims in their description that they are this, 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 and this. What I would like to say is that the Nix It can be worn to have sex with, so claiming that they are the only thing that can be worn, reusable, while having sex is not right. Disclaimer, yes, I bought this with my own money, like I said. Shipping was crazy. A lot of you guys think that the Nix It's too expensive at $50, I believe, but the shipping was only $5 and something cents with the Nix It, whereas with the Ziggy Cup, even though it is $40, it's a $10 shipping. So price-wise, in regards to comparing the two, it's pretty negligible. I don't know, I don't really see the difference. Packaging-wise, this is all plastic. I hate that. If you follow me on any of my social media, I'm really trying to limit how much plastic I bring into our house. Granted, I have 3 kids, so there is still quite a bit, but anywhere that I can cut back in plastic use, I'm really trying my best to be more conscious about that. So the fact that this is like a whole plastic case is just kind of upsetting. In regards to cases, what you get with the Nix It, you do get a very, very adorable woven bag. And then with the Ziggy, you do get a, I feel like it's made out of the same material as the cup, medical grade silicone type of case. I don't understand this part of it. It's got like a set of lips on it, so it looks like it's talking to you, but it does have that, which I don't really understand. And then, I mean, no, I get it, vaginal lips, whatever, but I just don't need that on my case. And then the thing slips in like this. I don't necessarily like this case. I get that they were trying to make it so that it was like flexible and could be smushed anywhere, but I don't know why. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just, I feel like it just is asking for lint and stuff to get stuck to it because it is that medical grade silicone or like hairs or things like that when it's in my purse. The difference between the Ziggy and the Nixit in regards to shape is that the Nixit is a full circle, whereas the Ziggy is more kind of like an egg-like shape. It's oval, but there's a more tapered top and then a more rounded bottom. That will come into play. Also, it's odd, the cup part or the basket part of the cups, the Nixit is actually a lot softer, whereas the Ziggy is a little bit thicker and a little bit firmer. It also has a honeycomb pattern inside, which I'm not quite sure what the purpose for that is. Maybe to make it stronger. I'm not sure, but it definitely feels more durable, but it's not as soft. The rims of the two, the Ziggy is more firm in my opinion than the Nixit. The Nixit all around is way more malleable. And then the last difference between the Ziggy and the Nixit is that the Nixit can be put in whichever way you want. It doesn't matter. There's no front, there's no back. Whereas the Ziggy, I believe, and I only say I believe because there were no clear instructions that I could find in the packaging. I believe there is a certain way that you're supposed to put it in, and I believe it's the rounded bottom side that you're supposed to put in first, and then the tapered end is supposed to be in the front. I did try this thing both with the wide bottom first and the tapered part first, just to see like if it made a difference, and I will say it really didn't. I do show blood in these upcoming clips. I've told you guys this before. If you've watched my videos, it's kind of become my thing. I feel like to really experience a cup and to see if it really works, sometimes you need to see proof. So for those people who feel like that helps them and will help desensitize periods and destigmatize them, like, I am happy to do that. And I know that you guys really were not a huge fan of the video that I did without the blood. So the first few clips do not have blood in them, however. They just have me unpackaging it and stuff and kind of my first impressions. So if you'd like to see those, I will leave a clear warning, you know, so watch the screen of when the blood is coming. I will do that, or you can click the link below to skip to the end, but you pay attention because, again, I don't think I verbally said, here's the blood, it's coming, beware, you know, in the video. So keep an eye on the screen and I will let you guys know when the real blood comes. But if you don't want to watch that, you can skip to the end and you can see my final thoughts on the cup. Hello guys, so it is technically not day one of my period, but we are gonna just talk about this cup a little bit because I just got it in the mail. I won't lie, I was a little bit like on edge because I paid $10 shipping, as I mentioned, and I didn't, like, when I went to go search the tracking number, it didn't pop up. It said like your order cannot be found, this and that, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm about to start my period. I just wasted like basically $50. But yeah, it ended up actually showing up today, so I was being all negative for nothing. But in my defense, I'm about to start my period, which is when I get kind of irrational, right? It's a little bit confusing why there's like lips all over. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of like disturbed a little bit with that. I also don't really, I don't know, it says free packing or travel case. That I don't understand either. It's like they're trying to make it like explain why it's more expensive. Like, oh, we, you know, put a travel case in here, but every cup comes with a travel case. Interesting. So it opens like this, and then there's another layer, and then here is the Ziggy. So I want to do this to it because I want it to be a circle like the Nixit. Let's get the directions out. Oh, sorry guys, I'm in a weird mood because it's just been a bad stinking day for me and I'm just so tired. I got loads of laundry upstairs. Let's go through the directions. Oh my gosh. Oh dear Lord. So the directions come in all sorts of different languages, which is good. Everybody should be able to know how to use it. My only concern, I mean, are these actually the directions? So I mean, there's visual directions right here, right? But then all of this is like, right? And then there you got this at the end. And that's not even for this. This is for some type of vibrator looking thing. I think it's for their Kegel exerciser. So I don't even think this is directions. I think this is more just of like a, oh, it's Intimina support. More like intimidating support. Like, I don't want to read that. Luckily, I know how to put a cup in. I'll say Nixit wins on the directions though. I liked Nixit's like pull-out pamphlet. It was very like, I could see what was happening and knew what to do. So, Nixit wins there. I know, I'm just gonna compare this to the Nixit, this whole entire review, because that's what you guys wanted. Yeah, let's go ahead and boil this. Now I'm confused. Should I boil this as well because this goes back into here when it's not in use? I don't know. I may be missing this somewhere, but I don't even see, like, it doesn't like transparently say like you should boil this for this amount of time before you use it. But you should. Just FYI. I haven't started my period yet, but I've had like the period shits for the last day, so I can feel the heaviness. I washed my hands. It's important for you to wash your hands before you touch your vagina and put stuff in it, and also the thing that you're putting in it. But yeah, let's go ahead and insert it. I'm gonna do it on camera because you weirdos like to see that. I'm just kidding. I would want to see it. Yeah, we're gonna try to put this in. Squeeze it here and put it in. I don't really like to do it on top of the toilet. That's just my preference. So, yeah. Huh. Interesting. Ow. Ow. Shit. I stabbed myself with my nail. I got talons on. People ask like, oh, how do you get stuff in with your nails without scratching yourself? I scratched the crap out of my vagina. Just I'm used to it. So what I will say is that I can feel it, whereas with the Nixit, I could not feel the Nixit. I can feel this. Like, I feel like it's wanting to kind of shoot back out instead of stay where I put it. I'm gonna go ahead and put my pants back on and fold some laundry and stuff, and then I'll check in later, and hopefully I will have started my period. Just kidding, it's 5 seconds later. I already had to like shove my finger up there, push it back behind my pubic bone because it was slipping forward. So this is gonna be really interesting to see if this thing stays put. All right, guys, so it's like, I don't even know what time it is. I think it's like 10, maybe? I don't know. I've had this thing in me for probably 4 hours now. I will say that for the first like half an hour, when I was sitting on my bed folding laundry, I was like super annoyed. I was just like more on edge because I could feel it. And I felt like it was almost trying to like push its way out. And standing up right now, I still feel like it's kind of trying to nudge its way out. Like, it feels like a full tampon, if that makes sense. Like when they're starting to like come down, if you haven't like changed it and you're like really active. So I don't know if I've started my period yet. I don't feel like I have. I'll pull it out and see. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm very confused by this device. It doesn't hurt. Like, I was kind of scared that I was like starting to cramp almost like I did with the Lily Cup Compact. Guys, that cup really traumatized me. I mean, I'm not uncomfortable. I just can feel it. First off, let's see how easy it is to get out. Oh yeah, it's like right there. So, I'm gonna try to get it out. All right, so it came out really easily. There's nothing on it other than just like discharge. I'm not bleeding yet, however. It was... I honestly want to like this thing. Like, I'm gonna really try my hardest to like this thing because I feel like I've given Tamina a really hard time. And I really want to like this thing, so I'm gonna try it. But I will be completely honest. That was way easier to get out than the Nixit, which I know some of you are like, oh, that's good. But with that being said, it was easier to get out because it was already like almost coming out on its own. I'm just really concerned that this thing, I don't know. So I'm gonna rinse it off because it does have discharge on it. I'm gonna put it back in and go to bed. All right, so I'm having a really hard time getting it back in for some reason. What are you doing? Hold on, be right back. Go in. Oh my God. It like is refusing to go back in my vagina. Let me go sit on the toilet. I don't know what's going on, but that thing did not want to go back up home. But right now, this isn't feeling the same. Like, I'm feeling a little bit of cramping. I'm gonna try to get my body to relax. I think I'm a little on edge. I'm always more upset with things when I purchase them myself, because you guys know I really don't like wasting money. And so, yeah, I just really want this like to work. Alright guys, so we are back. It has been 5 days since I last vlogged. It was 5 days late. So had a little bit of a scare there, not understanding why my period was so late. But because it was so late, I kind of stuck to period underwear as a just in case if I started my period while I was out. And my salt cup when I played soccer, just in case I started. I want to finish this review out. I want to test the Nixit out, or Ziggy. I don't know why I called it Nixit. I want to test the Ziggy out properly for you guys. So yeah, I'm on my first day period right now. Yeah, we're gonna reinsert this. I rewashed it and everything, and I'm gonna see how I do sleeping with this in. So I did have the salt cup in because I had a garage sale today and I was up on my feet and stuff and I started my period. And again, I didn't want to put the Nixit, or Ziggy, dang it, I didn't want to put the Ziggy in until I could film. So I'm gonna take my salt cup out real quick. Salt cup blood, there it is. It's like an hour of bleeding. And now let's try to put this Ziggy in. I'm gonna just do it sitting on the toilet. Oh my God. Okay, let's go. Get up there. It's kind of hanging in there, not by a lot, not gonna lie. It's too long. It doesn't want to stay up there. So I'll leave it in for a little bit and bleed into it and see what happens, but I don't know, we'll see. So I just had to have John like make sure I wasn't crazy and the fact that it's like falling out of me. So I've had this thing in for literally 15 minutes. I maybe went up and down the stairs twice and then laid down on my bed for a little bit because I'm having some cramps and it's falling out again. It will not stay behind my pubic bone. So I'm taking it out because I want to go to bed. I don't feel well. I'm tired. I had a garage sale all day. You guys know if you have a garage sale, it's exhausting. And I have to wake up early, take the kids to school, and do stuff. So I'm taking it out. I tried it. It's falling out. It's falling out. So I'm going to put the Nixit in because a lot of you guys were like, oh, you should do like a comparison like within the same period. And I'm gonna because this is comfortable. I know it's comfortable and I want a good night's sleep. So here's what I will say. It did catch some blood, but the weird thing is that most of the blood's actually on the outside of, like it's on the outside. There's no blood on the inside. It's all on the outside. I put it in right. Like, I put it in right. Nixit's going in. Alright guys, I'm gonna try one more time. This is the last time I'm trying with the Ziggy Cup. I'm gonna try one more time. If it doesn't want to stay in, I'm done. Like, I can't do it anymore. So I'm gonna try, I just ran it under hot water because I'm gonna try like warming up the silicone to see if that helps get it in. My cervix is higher right now, so that shouldn't be getting in the way. So I will say it goes in super easy when you're actively bleeding because it like is so, you know, there's blood down there. So far I don't feel it. I don't feel it at all. That's a good sign. And I don't know if that's because my cervix is higher or what, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Second day of my period. It's like 2:45. Yeah, I'm pretty much hanging out at the house for the rest of the day other than picking up the kids, so we'll see how this does. Ooh, is it pushing out already? I can feel it. Ah, crap. Gotta be kidding me. I don't know, we'll see. All right guys, so it's been literally like 2.5 hours and I went and picked up the kids, walked up and down the stairs a few times, sat downstairs in the laundry room and folded laundry. And as I was walking up the stairs with my laundry basket, which is pretty heavy, so I was kind of like exerting some energy, I could start feeling this thing coming out. So we're gonna go ahead and check on it to see if the blood's inside this time or outside. Oop, just felt a gush. So there was the gush feeling that I just had. This is why you wear backups. Definitely blood. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out. Ooh, I can already feel it coming out. Okay, so, uh-oh, just got blood all over the toilet. This is bad. Okay, paint you a little bit of a picture. There's blood pouring into the toilet right now, and then as I was like kind of moving to try to see what was going on, there's like a clot that's kind of hanging from me still, and it just got on the toilet seat. So far this thing's pretty messy. I'm gonna try, it's like hanging. Like the device is actually hanging out from me and the blood clot is hanging from it. Okay. So here is said blood clot on my finger and all of the blood is outside of the cup. None of the blood is actually inside of the cup. That is the weirdest, I don't understand. And it's not even like blood, it's like the blood is equally all around the bottom. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know. Alright, just for comparison's sake, I just put the Nixit in to see what's going on. And just because I want to see, like, is my cervix just in a really weird place right now? I mean, it's been a kind of weird period because I was 5 days late. You know, I don't know. I just want to see. So the Nixit is in. I don't feel it at all. I don't have any cramping, which I did have a little bit with the Intimina one. I forgot to mention that. For some reason, whenever I put it in, I have this cramping that happens like on my left underneath my rib cage. It's real weird. First, I just thought it was coincidental, but it's happened now twice that I put it in. So I don't have any cramping with the Nixit. I don't feel it. It went in pretty easily. I'm gonna bleed into it for a little bit and see if the blood goes on the outside or if it goes on the inside. If it goes on the outside as well, then something's going on with my cervix. But if it's on the inside, then I don't know. It's been another 2 hours. I'm gonna take out the Ziggy or the Nixit. I can't even keep them straight anymore. I'm gonna take out the Nixit and see what's going on. No blood or leaking from the Nixit. This is dry red blood from the Ziggy. Already A+ on that note. I don't feel anything coming out. There's nothing in the toilet, so it's not messy. This feels like the review that I just did on this thing. It's still behind my pubic bone. I have to like dig up there to get it. So far, yeah, that thing is still up there. Coming out. See, and this is what it's supposed to do, guys. Don't mind my bloody finger. The blood's supposed to be in the cup, not on the outside. Inside, not outside, on the inside. So there you go. There's solid evidence that the Ziggy Cup does not work for me. That's 2 hours of bleeding. And yes, there's blood up to my knuckle on my finger, but that's because I had to like get my finger up there to get that Nixit down, which that's fine, but it's not all over my hand or anything like that. It's not super messy like the Flex Fits were or the Soft Cups. So yeah, I think you guys know where the direction of this review has gone. Alright guys, so as you saw, I did have a really weird period. For those of you who did not see those clips, I thought I was starting my period, so I did put the cup in, and first off, I felt it. I had issues keeping it in. It wasn't super simple to put in. And for the most part, I feel like I've put so many different devices in my vagina over the last 2-3 years that, you know, stuff maybe doesn't come super easy to me, but I can at least like make it work, you know, within a reasonable amount of time. The Ziggy Cup, when I thought I was gonna start my period, did not want to stay in. I woke up in the middle of the night because I couldn't fall asleep completely with it in it when I was even just laying still. It was pushing its way out. It just didn't, my body was like rejecting it. It did not want it in there. So that happened. I took it out and then I actually was 5 days late on my period. So when I thought I was gonna start my period and I put the Ziggy in, I didn't actually start my period for another like 4 days after that. So I did give the Ziggy another chance when I did start my period, so that way I could see if it did catch blood. And my experience with it was that not only could I really not get it to want to stay in, but it also I bled underneath it, if that makes sense. Like, I'd pull it out. If you saw the clips, I pulled it out, and instead of the blood being nicely in the basket, it was all underneath. I put it in tapered end first, and I also tried it with the bowl, more like round shape first, and neither way worked. No matter what, it wanted to push its way out. There's no way I could have had sex with this thing in. I was really gonna take one for the team and like try to have sex with it in. Not saying that it's like a job to have sex with my husband. I love having sex with my husband, but not necessarily with something else in my vagina as well. But I told John, I'm like, we're gonna do this. Like, we're gonna do this. The fact that it kept falling out on its own, like not even after, you know, that much time, just like pushing its way out, I just knew like there's no way that this is gonna stay in while having sex. Like, there's no way. So I didn't try it. If you want to, go ahead, that's fine. But like, again, this thing would not even stay in by itself. I really wanted to like this cup. You guys know I was very hesitant about the Nixit when I got it. Like, I was terrified, especially because Rachel had sent me like 4 different cups, and I know that it wasn't cheap for her to send them from Canada. I knew that like they are, you know, like, to give away product isn't super cheap all the time, and she was, you know, just starting out. Like, I was so stressed out about that last review because I was like, I'm not gonna like this thing. I know I'm not gonna like this thing, and I loved it. I really wanted to love the Ziggy just as much because I was just like, you know, it's another option for people. I like being able to suggest other options for people. You know, I spent $50 on it, 50 something actually, because after tax, like, I spent good money on this cup and I waited for it. Like, I wanted to really like this cup. The funny thing is that when I posted something on Instagram in my stories about kind of like being confused about the cup, you know, like, because it wouldn't stay in, I got so many messages, guys. I got so many messages from people who would say, oh, I hope you have better luck with that. I couldn't get to stay in. Oh, super disappointed. I spent $50 on that and it wouldn't stay in. It was the same thing over and over again, where people could not get it to stay in them, or it was uncomfortable, or they couldn't get it like in general. And that's the same exact issues I had. Like, I kept writing back to these women and I was just like, thank you so much, because I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was doing something wrong. Thank you so much for like validating my feelings. Because again, I didn't like the first cup I tried from Intimina, so I really didn't want that to affect this review. And I just like to hear from complete strangers that like they had the same exact issues, who have different body types than me and who have different periods than me. Like, that just was so comforting. I didn't like this cup. It wouldn't stay in, and that's like the key factor for me, is like, the cup's gotta stay in, right? It's gotta stay in. So my theory on why the Ziggy did not work for me, but the Nixit worked so well for me, is because the Nixit is a complete circle. There's no like guessing which end goes in first. It's so malleable, whereas this is not. So when you have this already squeezed kind of like this, because your, you know, opening is not like a complete round circle. If it's already got a firm rim, which this has a firmer rim than the Nixit, and it's already shaped as like an oval, it's not like, there's no like pushing it, right? Like, no. So when I had mine in my vagina, I could feel it. It was basically squeezed like this in my vagina. To get it behind my pubic bone, it just did not want to go. Like, it did not want to go. It didn't want to bend. It didn't want to move. Whereas with the Nixit, sorry, my watch is going off. With the Nixit, squeezed in this way, it still bends so nicely. Do you see that? Like, without that much pressure, it still bends. Whereas the Ziggy, it just doesn't want to budge. It wants to stay in this oval position, and this is me pushing really hard, and it doesn't feel good. So I could not get this to stay behind my pubic bone. It didn't want to work for me. Also, the honeycomb design inside, actually makes it a little bit harder to clean. I don't know if this is true for everyone, but because there's ridging inside, like I really had to get in there and like massage and clean with my soap, you know, and then boiling it. Whereas this is just like, there's no crevices to get stuck in. So this may be more durable over the, you know, next whatever years. That may be why it's designed this way, and that may be a benefit of it, but this hasn't torn yet, and I've used this, as you guys saw in the clips, I did use this during my period with this, just because I wanted to compare back to back, like, okay, maybe my vagina is just acting weird and it doesn't want to use a, you know, non-suctioning cup today. I say this all the time to people. I have multiple cups that I use throughout periods or throughout the year because sometimes my vagina is like, oh hey, I like this cup today. And then sometimes my vagina is like, oh hey, me and that bitch are fighting, I want this cup today. There's always different times in my cycle where my cervix is acting different, maybe my vaginal walls are more swollen. So I'm one of those people who likes to have a few different things on hand to use. So I did want to see like, okay, maybe my vagina is just not behaving this week. Maybe because it was such a weird period, maybe, you know, it just doesn't, it wants, you know, more of a traditional cup. It wants something to suction it up and to stay up there. So that's why I did try the Nixit as well during the cycle. The Nixit stayed in. The Nixit caught the blood inside where it was supposed to. It didn't have all the blood on the outside. The Ziggy did not. With that being said, I personally would not endorse this. I did have one person who messaged me out of the like 30. I had one person who said, you know, I really hope you love that cup. I love that cup. So there are people who do love this cup, but I'm just not one of them. It's definitely not a one size fits all at all. The Nixit, I think, has a better chance of working for people of all different sizes just because it is so much more malleable. That is my opinion on it. Again, I really wanted to love that cup. I hate wasting money, especially at this point in my life when I have so much going on financially. I really wanted to love this hybrid cup, and I really wanted to be able to give you guys a second option. I really did. So I am very disappointed. I'm not with the company, but I'm disappointed that it just didn't work for me. Let me know if you guys have tried it and what your experience has been. Just remember, like, this is just my opinion. This is how it worked for me. I am built completely different than you. I have different periods than you. My cervix sits differently than yours. Like, we all have different preferences on like just things. So just know that if something doesn't work for me necessarily, it does not mean that it won't work for you. My goal with these videos is never to just be like, oh, don't buy this, don't buy this, buy this. Because you guys know I'm not really necessarily brand loyal. I do review things monthly, and all these companies that send me products know this. You know, I am loyal to the people that I care about, which it always is you guys in the end. I'm loyal to you. So I do these videos with just the hopes that I can just show you a new product. I can show you how it works. And if you decide to take the chance on it and to spend your good hard-earned money on it, then I can know that like I gave you as much insight on that product as I could before you made that decision. You know, I just want to be here as another resource, not necessarily the end-all be-all decision maker of what you do in your life and your period, you know? Yeah, just, again, if you want to try this cup, if you really feel like, oh, this is gonna work for me, I know it, go ahead, you know? I'm not gonna stand in your way. This is just how it worked for me and kind of my issues with it and what I think is concerning in regards to it, you know, maybe not working for everyone. There is my review of the Ziggy Cup. Thank you to all of you who suggested it. I do agree it was a good cup to follow up with the Nixit because this way it was still fresh in my mind and I could use the two together and kind of, you know, compare the two because they are so similar and because they are the most accessible, reusable, non-suctioning cups on the market. And again, I'm gonna continue calling it a non-suctioning cup or a hybrid cup. The reason, again, why is because I just want to be respectful of these companies. They've obviously named it what they did for a reason. I've spoken to Nixit's owner and her reasoning completely makes sense and is in line with why I think it should be called a cup. Again, because discs is a made-up branding term for flex fits and soft discs now, okay? Soft discs were soft cups. Let's remember that, guys. They were originally soft cups until flex fits came in and bought them out and turn their rim black. I also don't want to stick Ziggy and Nix-It in a corner by themselves as a reusable disc. No, they should be combined with reusable menstrual cups because they are a reusable menstrual cup. They are. And they should be in the game and they should be in the conversation of them, not put in their own little island of reusable discs and all of that. I get it. I love it. I'm here for it. Hybrid cups are where it's at. There you go. If you have any questions, leave them below. This community, as I've learned in the last couple years, is just amazing and full of knowledge. You know, they will come through and answer your questions if you have them. And if I have time, I will try to answer them. And I know a lot of brands will answer on my Salt cup. Salt likes to answer questions. Nix-It likes to answer questions on the videos, you know, so leave a question. Don't be scared. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy videos like this. As you guys know, YouTube's not been so great or so nice to my period videos. So any support that you guys can give keeps this part of my channel going, and I appreciate any amount of it. As I mentioned in my Nix-It video, I do have a Venmo and a PayPal for any type of donations you guys may want to give for future menstrual product reviews and all of that. Yeah, if you feel so inclined, if my videos have been helpful, not if you just watch them and you're like, eh, these suck. If my videos have made a difference in your life, if for any reason you feel like I've helped you in some way and it's within your means, like you know, if you want to donate, go right ahead. I appreciate it. But yeah, maybe one of these days advertisers and YouTube will get it through their heads that periods are where it's at. You know, half of us at least bleed on this world. So it's just like, this is where it's at, guys. This is where it's at, in my opinion. I will talk to you guys all later. If you have any product suggestions for the upcoming video, leave them below. I should start my period in the next couple weeks, so I should probably get ordering whatever product you guys want. If there's a specific company or product, even non-period related, that you guys would like me to check out, tag me in their posts, you know, let them know about me, vice versa. That seems to be how I get the most interaction with companies to be able to get these videos out for you. So yeah, that always helps, and again, leave them below and I will check them out. Thank you for watching as always. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you're on your period, be strong, and I will see you guys all in my next video.